about that deep, I'd say. 6-7 inches. Found a drop gardener, like a 58 caliber one. I like drop gardeners. Nice red bullet there. Not pulled or anything. Alrighty.
He's got himself a Confederate Enfield. This is not the Pritchett style. This is just a standard one. That thing's hit rock and it's tumbled. It's really gray. Tell him where you found it.
About 2 feet out in the water.
Yeah, he was
probably 8 inches deep.
He was out there going around in his muck boots, detected in the water, and I had told him just seconds ago, I said, hey, we've not found anything that far out, and he came back and says, look what I just found. So that goes to show that there's stuff there. It's just getting your coil over it and knowing where to hunt. We've hunted these banks extensively and nothing's left. That's awesome.
My
great
first one.
First Confederate Enfield. Is that your first Confederate bullet period?
Yes.
Awesome.
Fire 58. There we go. Alrighty. But I just dug his hole and I got a good signal. It's in the 50s and 60s, and I dug it and boom! I have no idea who this guy is. It's a bottle top, and I'd almost bet you it's some type of beer or spirits of some sort. Never seen it, but it's just kind of neat, and I thought I'd show you. Kind of silly. Anyway, if we find anything, Randy's down there on the old target range trying to find something. If we find anything, we'll get back with you. All right, in this hole, I found a fired 58. That's cool. Alrighty. I got an awesome 1700s permission, colonial and Civil War stuff, and I got this signal. Dug it up. Looks like a penny, probably a weedy. Let's see. I don't know what it is. Probably a weedy. No, Indian head. If I can get it off there. It's an Indian. I just don't know what year. We'll find out. It's... Let me see here. Well, hold on. Whoops. I drop everything. There's the one cent on the back. Well, let's see. 1867. That's an unusual date. I don't think I've ever found that year before. Still ringing, look good? Okay, dig it. Now you got a bullet.
Maybe.
Look, found him a thimble. That's probably colonial or right at that period. Let me see it. It's a little rough, but
There's a hole in the top.
that's okay. It's been in the ground a long time. There you go. All right. Fist bump time. That's social distancing fist bump. Out in the middle of a field, a lantern part. It's probably definitely Civil War. That's cool though. I'll take that.
Still got the adjustment wheel on it. Alrighty. One of my last ones I'm going to dig today. I found what's left. Looks like a pair of brass scissors. Maybe. Handles off of them. That's what it kind of looks like.
Big Randy yells out and says he's got a button. So let's see what he's got. Cool. Let's take a look at it. Have any fancy on the front or anything you can tell?
I don't think so. I don't have a key.
Flip that back, see if we got a shank on it. Oh, we got a nice shank. And it looks like there might be some writing on it.
Yes, sir. I just don't have my glasses to tell you.
We can take a look at that later, and if we forget anything, we'll insert. But that's a nice stand-up shank, and
Cool.
that's excellent find. Infantry campsite and part of the Jones raid for the Jones and Bowden raid here on the old Stanton-Parkersburg Turnpike, and I've got my first signal of the day. I climbed up this hill, took about 15 minutes, and probably my third signal right here. Really good sound. I've got the ground broken up. Let's see what we can find. I got weight. There it is. Look here, 58. You can see I'm on this pretty steep bank right here and right down there, but look here, I just brushed the leaves back, and that was, I'm sliding as we speak. That was laying there. It's a 58 3-ringer. It's a good find. See what else we can find. I dug and dug about 8 inches, and this is part of a bullet. It's part of a 58, just tumbled and smashed and torn all to heck. And anyway, that's part of a bullet on this steep bank, and I'll take it. Got the first good signal of the day, and right there it is. And I don't know if we can dig it out with our hands, but this is pretty loose. And look there, look right there. It's a 58 caliber, fired by these Yankees that were coming up over this ridge. Try to explain each one of them. What I have here in my hand is an 1860 Enfield 2-band musket barrel band. And if you can see right here, this 1860 version, it has the lug for the bayonet on the front. And that's a rare find. That's a good find. And actually, unfortunately for the man carrying that, that was hit by a bullet. You know, one of the opposing sides fired a shot at this man, blew off the front of the barrel band on his Enfield musket, and I found it over 150 years later on this battlefield site here in southeastern West Virginia. All right. My next find I found this gun screw, and it's a side plate screw. Obviously, these guys were losing all kinds of stuff. I'd found gun worms, tools, and all kinds of other things on this site. Very, very steep, precipitous area that the Yankees were coming up and firing on the Confederates, and in return the Confederates were firing directly on them. The accounts from the Yankees talk about how fearsome this battle was. And not too far from the Enfield barrel band, I found this. It's, you know, just a piece of rust, but at one time this is part of a roller buckle. I couldn't find the rest of it, but it is a pretty nice looking piece of a roller buckle. Now the mystery item, I did not dig this, but Brian dug this, and we think it is some type of a wedge, a locking wedge that goes into a hub of a wagon or something of that nature. It's iron. It's got this tongue on it right here, and it tapers down. It almost looks like a spike that you would spike a cannon with, but that's definitely not that. I've seen those, and they aren't made like this. But anyway, a cool unknown find. If any of you know what this is, don't hesitate to you know, put a note in the section and let us know. These 3 bullets right here, these are all Gardners. These are all Confederate Gardners. You can see the insert there. You can see the banding on this one especially. There's one that's smashed up all to heck. Now, I take that back. This one is the infield. I'd forgotten I'd gotten that infield there. That's the only infield I dug that day. And I dug the 2 gardeners, this infield, and look at all these drop 58s. This was coming up this really steep bank, and you know, I dug every single one of these, and these were in an area probably 15 feet from one end to the other, and they were all pretty much in a straight row where these guys were coming up the hill.